Oh, yeah. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you are. How are you? Welcome back to another vlog. Today's been exactly 1 week since I've outlined the vector art competition where I sent you guys off with the challenge of vectorizing on top of your own photograph. I'm actually super excited to have a look at what you guys have created, so let's go have a look. We have Donovan. Donovan is a friend of mine and he sent me this Illustrator file, which is mint because he didn't actually link the photograph that he was using. So just a tip for you guys, if you're using Adobe Illustrator, you need to go into your links panel and you need to link your photographs. This looks very similar to what you initially submitted for the vector art competition and it looks very, very detailed. You say you spent 6 hours on it and it looks really, really good. Just have a cheeky zoom in and just clean it up. I really, really like the use of colors. The shading, you can see where the rocks are kind of sitting on top of each other. I just wish I had the photo, but that's okay. We live and we learn for next time. Thank you, Donovan. Nice, I like this. First thoughts, it actually reminds me of the car from Back to the Future. I really like the movement that you're using in this photo. You've used a bit of a slow shutter and you've done a panning shot of a car. If I could give you any tips, I would, first of all, again, like everyone, just make sure you're cleaning up your artwork. Make sure that you're just clicking straight points like this. This line here, if you see one of these, it means that you've done one of these ones, like you've pulled it. So you might be rushing or maybe just not focusing completely. I've done it before 100%. But yeah, that's just another part of keeping it nice and clean and concise. So thank you very much, Andrew. So this next submission is from Keanu. He says, "Hey Chris, I'm a big fan all the way from Philippines." How cool is that? And he decided to use this photo because of the contrast that it has between the tray and the pastries. That is really, really crucial. Thinking ahead and actually identifying what the vector will contrast with in regards to the photograph. So this is the original photo. And wow. No way. Oh, I love that. That's insane. Awesome. Really well done. Really. Why do I say this? Because, well, first of all, it's really simple. I love how you've used the tray and the plates and you really haven't used many shapes. They're big, they're bold, and they don't take up a lot of the attention. Where the detail lies, however, is in the croissants and the pastries. This really goes to show that he's watched my tutorial, he's listened, and he's really tried to apply his own interpretation and knowledge towards one of his own photograph. Thank you for submitting and really well done. Keep it up, honestly, keep it up. So this submission is from Omkar and he said it almost took him 2 days to finish this vector art, so really good job for putting in the hard yards. I wish you sent me the Illustrator file so I could zoom in and have a look, but just from looking at this really high quality photo, actually pretty much the same shit, I can see that you have tried to use line work in areas to distinguish the folds in your clothing. All I could suggest, connecting your lines like this one here to this one there, using a thicker stroke. Thank you for submitting this artwork. Next time, include the Illustrator file and cheers. Yo, this is sick. Okay, I like this. You want to know why I like it? Well, he's actually gone ahead and he's drawn his own image by hand and now he's converting it to vector. That is actually something that I really want to do and I'm very envious of people that can draw, especially freehand, create their own stuff and then convert it to vector design because it is genuinely the epitome of graphic design and creativity. This submission is from John Paul Blanca. Thank you for sending in your Illustrator file. Keep it up. Keep practicing with this kind of stuff as well because there's some pretty cool designers out there that can draw what they want and then they can design it. And thank you for submitting your artwork. So this submission is from Becca Griffin. Thank you, Becca. I'm actually really surprised that you went with this background because the phone case is so detailed. There's so many different highlights and directions at the swirls and the marble. Well, I feel like it would be quite daunting, especially for someone that is just, learning Illustrator. You've used some smaller shapes to emote that motion and that swirl. And then you've obviously implemented the nice bright colors of the orange to actually contrast nice with the blue. Really nice design. I think next time, try and use some line work to just distinguish the exterior of the phone case and your hand. But that is completely up to you. it still looks great, and I just wanted to thank you for your submission. So this submission was from Mayan Riser. It kind of reminds me of what me and Liam did with that panning shot of the tram. It looks fantastic. I do really like the color combinations between that bright orange and the actual green of the tram. Because there's windows, you can see straight through. So maybe next time, keep in mind that there are windows and don't actually vectorize things like this. That's just something to keep in mind. Really well done, man. Thank you for submitting your artwork. This is a submission from Shimri Shiam. Really awesome job. I really like the colors that you've got going on. The red in the shirt, and then obviously the background. And this is how you've gone about vectorizing it. And you've changed the background, which is fair enough. The way you've done the line work over here is very nice. You've definitely watched the tutorial and you've listened. You definitely would have used multiple layers, so good job on that. And I can tell where the t-shirt kind of creases and moves, and that's what we're really looking for when we're trying to create vector art. Look at how he's used the variable width tool here to distinguish the thicker part of the collar coming down to the thinner point. Just the little things like that. I notice it really makes me happy to see you mastering and really giving it a red hot crack. I'm glad that I could teach you something. I don't know what to say, because like I really like how she's gone about the shapes and the vector process of the clothing. You can literally see where the shadows are and the movement of her dress. I just wish she made an outline, because it's done so well that it was genuinely hard to identify what was vectorized initially. It would have made it pop just a little bit more. Even if it wasn't a harsh black outline, it still would have been something to direct my eyes and my attention towards. I can clearly see all the little wraps and the bends and the nice knot that she's got going on here. The dress is coming around and over and under, and that is fantastic, and that is what I really, really like about this design. Thank you very much, Angie, for your submission. Okay, so this submission is from Bonilla Juan Velasquez. Nice. This is what she decided to vectorize, and it looks fantastic. I like how she's used the shapes to distinguish the seams and the stretch and the movement of the pants. And then obviously she's gone into a lot more detail here where the ripped jeans are. So she's used the stroke panel to create some dotted lines similar to how I did, and it looks amazing, does it not? This is the combination of the two. Very nice. And the outline has definitely contributed to the separation of vector and photo. It looks really good. The ripped jeans would have been a bitch. Probably sat there and was just like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? Looks really nice. So thank you for your submission. This is definitely a contender. So this submission is from Austin Allen. Thank you for your kind words in the email, bro. This looks absolutely amazing. Doing hand and skin tones can definitely be quite hard. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and stretch it back just so that it looks proper. I think you've done a really good job. Obviously, he's gone and vectorized the hand. The strokes, nice addition, but I think they could have been a little bit thicker, especially in areas like over here. I think you definitely could have gotten away with making them just a bit thicker, because, well, why not? Like, it's vector, and when you're viewing it from out here, you really just want to actually draw attention, like kind of similar to what you've done with the pencils over here. This is a nice thickness. And you've gone with a very sharp approach to the highlight, which is very interesting. Lots of anchor points. And then obviously with the shading over here, a lot larger shapes. So you've definitely tried and actually taken my advice on board and tried to apply it in your own way. And so I do commend you for that. And yeah, really, really good job. Nice. This is awesome. This is a submission from Katuk. He comes into my live streams pretty much every time, actually. He's an absolute legend. You're an absolute legend. So he's used very small shapes, and that's how you can see it go from dark to a bit lighter and brighter over here, almost seamlessly. I like how he's used the variable width tool over here. You can tell that that light there is rounded, and that is exactly what I'm trying to teach you guys with line work. Done the same thing with the wheels and the spokes over here. And there's a lot of fade going on in the original photo, and that's why we're getting these kind of soft shadows. And he actually hasn't vectorized the window because, well, that's technically the photo. Maybe he could like do a little bit of the glint over here if you wanted to. It just makes for a really cool kind of contrast between vector and photo, and that's what we're going for. And so thank you, Katuk, for your submission. I really do appreciate it. Really well done. I really like it. This is going to be a really hard decision for me, I'm not gonna lie. We're starting to get a lot of good submissions. This is fucking unreal. This submission is from Brody Ramsey. I love the emotion. That is fantastic. First thing I noticed, love how he's done the face. These kind of types of shapes to kind kind of direct the side of his face more towards his eye. Not only that, but you know, the shoes have been done really well, the cording with the microphone and all of that. It looks really good. Even the hair, you gave that a really good crack as well. So thank you for submitting an artwork into this competition. Okay, so next up we have a submission from Will Stone, and this is a photo that he took. I actually really like the tones that you've got going on. Let me know where you took this shot because I'd be interested. It looks nice. It looks like it was taken during a lot more simpler times. I like the subject that you've got going on. I like the subject. I would suggest to make the stroke a little less thick, to be honest. I think that would have been more appropriate. It just looks a little bit softer. You can have a break in the jeans. The vector art can combine with the photography without a distinguishable outline. I've actually got a question as well. Why didn't you vectorize the shirt? Wouldn't it have been too hard? I can still see her hair drooping down. Maybe that put you off because I feel like it would have been a nice combination between her legs, her jeans, and then her upper torso. So other than that, you've done a great job. Oh, how sweet is this? I think it's a self-timer. Well, actually, you know what? I have no idea. You could have been behind the photo. This might not even be you. If I could give some advice, I'd probably separate the outlines where the hands and the skin actually becomes in contact with the clothing. You could probably cut it off up here and then maybe make it start again around here, just so her hand kind of just looks like it's sitting on the vector art as opposed to just kind of going around it. Other than that, fantastic job. Yeah, cheers for participating. Participating. Holy shit, this is sick. I don't give a fuck if you paint trains or not. Alrighty, this here is a lab. Fuck me. That's pretty funny. It's also respectable because he's given it a really fucking red hot crack in regards to his vector art. And so this is from Joe Bennett. First thing that I would suggest, relax on the outline. It's dumb thick. How much better does that look? In my opinion. And we'll just make it from 2 point to 1 point. You can even see his keys on him. Definitely not your house keys, mate, are they? Mike would love this shit. Why didn't you vectorize the durry, mate? If that is a durry, why didn't you vectorize your durry? Clean vector art. I think you've done a really good job. Don't get into trouble and quit smoking. It's not good for you. So this submission is from Huen. She says this is her first time using Adobe Illustrator. How fucking good is that? Someone's learning a little bit about magic and spells. They're becoming a magician. This is mysterious. The white areas where the highlights are might have been a bit difficult to distinguish if you hadn't outlined it. So really good job on that one. You've left out the book and stuff. You've just done the clothing and I think it really works. You've really gone to detail with the belt and the highlights around it. And it's that kind of effort that people put into their vector art that really makes it a quality vector art for me personally. This is a fantastic artwork and definitely a contender for the winning prize, so thank you very much. This is a submission from Abdullah. My first initial thoughts is just the color. I really like that blue and that kind of soft gray with the orange t-shirt that's sitting behind it, the actual printing that's on your t-shirt and the watch. The outlines, I can definitely tell that they've been done nicely, but I'm curious as to whether, so as you can see, as I've made the image a bit smaller, it actually enlarges the strokes because it's relative to how big the artwork is. There you go. That is an awesome comparison between vector art and photography. The background is actually kind of barren, and so the vector art is the center of attention here. Really good job. Thank you for participating. Definitely another fucking contender. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. What do you actually mean? Initially, I thought that she vectorized just this area, and then I saw, oh yeah. There's no way you vectorized all of this. There's no way. Did you do this by hand? It looks a little bit live traced. If this is genuinely like you did this by hand, this would have taken you fucking ages. Great job. This is Tiarina's submission. This isn't live traced because the computer can't pick this kind of stuff up. I still don't know. Like this is all one big shape. Maybe she just used the pencil tool. She's actually the one that made Hulk and Abomination in my Marvel project, and she did a killer job on that as well. But regardless, you've done a fantastic job, and thank you for submitting. Okay, so this submission is from Naomi. Now, Naomi did Vulture for the Marvel project, and I know she's a graphic designer. She's working in the industry, and she comes and joins in the live streams here and there. What is going on here? What the interesting. I'm still trying to piece it together. The smoke coming left and right. You've got the lights and the highlights bouncing off different things. It looks like there's fucking flour flying everywhere. Glass even. Naomi definitely wanted to try and challenge herself, and let's just see what she's done. So she's done the hair fantastically well. She's actually created like little drips that are flying off from the left and the right off her dress. She's outlined some areas of the arms and the fingers and the fingernails actually. this is creative. And I've never seen anything like this before. I love how she used shadows over here, obviously to distinguish the liquid that almost seems like is just flying everywhere. And so from what I can gather, she's decided to vectorize portions of the dress and her whole face, as opposed to just doing the clothing. But she's also added in her own elements. Naomi, come on, relax. But no, this is fantastic. And so I just wanted to thank not only you, Naomi, for putting in the amazing effort, but everybody else for giving it a red hot crack and putting in the hours and the days even to create amazing piece of artwork. Keep in mind, I do look at a lot of other things other than just insane detail and Adobe Illustrator abilities. I now need to decide who's gonna win, but before we do that, why don't we actually go and have a look at what you're going to be winning. Just arrived at Wall to Wall Prints, gonna go check it out and have a look. I'm really excited actually, because they're big A1s. I'm actually curious to see what it looks like when you've got vector on top of a photographic image and it's blown up to size. Oh my goodness, that's insane. Oh, you actually printed extra? Yeah. Oh, thanks bro. How do you think it turns out?
Awesome.
Yeah?
The color, that pops, it is
does.
awesome.
Yeah.
No one does anything like this. So.
Oh really? In terms of like the combination between
yeah.
photography and graphic design. What's the process from here in terms of like distributing?
We'll wrap, pack, and send everything direct to the winners.
Okay.
You choose.
Yes. Thank you, James.
Legend, mate.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All yours.
That is super exciting because I now have a framing contact. This is something that I've been meaning to do for ages. Pretty much just get my artwork out there and sell it to people. Wall to Wall Prints is their business and they do some amazing work for some local artists around Melbourne. So things are moving forward. I've got the print for you guys. But yeah, let's go home and announce these 5 winners. And there you have it, guys. That brings us to here. If you've actually watched till this long, I have the final numbers. I tallied them up last night and I know who the winner is. Don't you want to find out? So in 5th place, we have on 45 votes, Juan Bonilla. In 4th place, on 48 votes, we have Vifex. In 3rd place, with 69 votes, we have +1 Hep. In 2nd place, with 76 votes, we have Angie Dharma. And in 1st place, with 101 votes, we have Shahud.ai, otherwise known as AS Captures. Fantastic effort by everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video, everybody. If you were in that top 5, you will be winning one of these. Please email me through at ckcreativesubmissions.com, your first name, last name, and your postal address, and I will have these delivered to your doorstep. But do you guys remember when James told me that he printed off some extra? That's right, I've got 5 extra prints to give away, and so the remaining 5 people in that tally are also going to receive an A1 print of one of these. And so I need you guys to also send me through your details. We're all winners. Nah, it's a bit cheesy, but I have extra, so surprise. At the end of the day, it's not about who wins. It's not about what poster you're going to get. All it's about is that we're coming together as a community based around graphic design and vector art, and that is exactly what I'm trying to achieve here. And so thank you so much to all the participants who got involved, and anyone else who's thinking about getting involved in the next competition, please do. I've already seen individuals make leaps and bounds in their Adobe Illustrator ability, and it's been awesome to watch. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my videos. I'm trying my best to pump out the content as fast as I can. If you watched till the end, thank you so much. And you guys know that I'll see ya in the next one.
Yeah.